Welcome, students. Today we're going to do a lesson and the first thing I'd like to do, everyone, is to introduce you to the essential question, and that is, in order to solve equations, what terms can be combined in an equation? And if we look at these 5 sample questions, we're going to make an attempt to answer these correctly. What I'd like everyone to do is to copy down these 8 examples on your sheet of paper right now, students. Let me give you 1 minute to do that. Seconds. Now, what we'd like to do is to introduce the difference between like terms and unlike terms. Notice that these 2 pieces of the problem have a plus in between both of them. They both have the same letter associated with them. Whenever we have that situation, those are considered to be like terms. And like terms, we're allowed to combine those together and to simplify and rewrite this down into a shorter form. It's a problem we're able to do. Unlike terms are those that don't have the same letter associated with them. If you look, for example, at this plus symbol, which separates this original problem into 2 pieces, there's the letter X attached to this 4, but there's no letter X attached to the 7. So if we look at these 2 things and we were to specify them, we would specify these specifically as being unlike terms for that reason. Okay? And like terms have a certain property to them in that they can be simplified together. For example, if I were to try to combine these 2 together, the answer here would be yes. And how much is 4 plus 7, everybody? Is? That's right. See, it would be incorrect to put an 11x below this because there's no x attached to this. But what if I were to erase this x? Could I also erase the un in front of the unlike terms and add those together? What do you think? Yes. What would the result be? It would be just a letter, not a letter attached to it. What I'd like you to do right now is in pairs, I'd like you to write down on a sheet of paper to the right of these 4 examples, either a U or an L. U is going to represent what kind of term, students? What is the U going to represent? What is the L going to represent? Like. Like. Good. have favorite letters? Anybody here have a favorite letter? Okay. What is it? E? E sounds good. Does anybody have a favorite letter of U or L? Well, this brings back some memories of when I was a student. I used to study a lot in the URL. Does anyone know what that abbreviates? The university, what kind of library? Research. Research is right. So I think leaving out the E is a good letter. Now, if you tell me L, then you've also got to give me another answer, don't you? Right. You can't just give me L. So does anybody want to give me, well, first of all, tell me L. And if you tell me L or U, then tell me the other part of the answer. How about this one, L or U? What do you think? L is right. Now, can anybody give me the other part of the answer? If it's L, then can it be combined together into one term, students? It can. And what would it be? 9x is right. Good. And what I'd like everyone to do is to work in pairs now. I'm going to give you another 45 seconds, and I want you to do the next 3 of those the same way. Go ahead. U or L. And then also, if it's L, give me the correct answer. Okay. How about right here? U or L? Anybody? U or L? U. U is right. Good. Now, what would need to be attached to the 3 in order for this to be an L? An X. What would need to be unattached to the 6 in order for this to be an L? X is right. Good. So what don't we want to put up here? What don't we want to put to the left of this? What don't we want to put? 9x is right. Good. All right. What about here, students? U or L? U is right. Good. And how about right here? L is right. And then what else? What else are we going to put here besides L? 2y is right. Very good. See, I changed the letter on you. Did that throw you for a curveball? Now, I'd like you to make up a problem with an E in it, since that's your favorite letter. Am I putting you on the spot?
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay. Right down here with an E in it. Go ahead. I'll help you. I'll put a plus there. Give me a term now. Give me the letter E and a number next to it.
3,
Very good. And what else?
7,
Very good. And then are we going to put an E next to it? What do you think? Yes. Very good. Okay, everyone, I'll give you in pairs 20 seconds now. U or L, and if it's an L, what the result is. L is right. All right. And then what else besides the L are we going to put here? 10E is right. Very good. Now, does it matter what the letter is, students? Can it be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, right? You want me to stop? Good, okay. All right. Now, the reason we do this is getting this right is very important. Getting this right. The This is like the meat and potatoes of algebra, solving equations. And we will feel that our class is successful or unsuccessful based upon whether you are able to do these with good accuracy. Okay, that's really a high priority for us, students. And we take very seriously your ability to do this right or wrong. So what we're going to try to do is to make sure that you don't make an error in doing these by sort of expounding a little bit on what we learned. Now, what I'm going to do is put you guys in pairs. I'm going to give you about a minute. I want you to copy this problem down, maybe 2 minutes, and then I want you guys to tell me true or false. Now, I don't want you to feel threatened, but I'm going to ask one of the students in each pair to tell me what your group answer was. Is 2 minutes enough time, students? Good, all right. So all you need is pencil and what? And what? Paper.
True or false, the first step into the news.
Now this is what I want to hear talking to you guys. So that's good. When I'm talking, usually I don't like to hear talking, but now I want to hear talking. So all the chatter, it's like a baseball team. You ever see that? Hey, bada, 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 swing. This is what I want to hear the chatter, okay?
Oh, we just have to
Correct. And actually what you're doing is telling me what
It's false.
you're answering a true or false
Oh,
question.
I thought you said something else.
No.
That's what you're doing. Good. Good question.
Oh, that's like 15
That's 15. Right.
You're doing a great job, students. Now, before we start on the true false, everyone, eyes up here at the chalkboard. I'm not going to ask you the answer to this, but I'd like to ask you if you're getting a little closer to thinking that you know the correct answer to what I've just circled. Do you guys think you're getting a little closer to knowing that than before? Yeah. Good. Okay. So you guys ready, students? Because I'm going to call on each group. You're going to have to say true or false. How about the first group right here? True or false? False is right. Good. And does anybody want to explain why they said false from the group?
You said false.
Oh, they said, okay, that's good. Yeah, that group over there. Okay. So somebody from your pair there, tell me why you said false.
Why?
Yes.
Because we got the answer is x over 5.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Good, good response. Now, let's look at what the problem says. The first step. Right, you guys? Now, let's look at the first step. I'm going to put a box around that. The first step, I'm going to put a box around that. Okay? Now, someone from the next group, true or false? Go ahead. Yes.
False.
False is right. Good. All right, and how come?
7 and
3, don't add up to 10.
Very good. That's outstanding. Okay, next group, true or false? False is the right answer. Go ahead, and how come now?
Because there's no like term, so I have to move the 7 to the other side first.
Boy, that is wonderful. Now, if you say the answer as well as that, I'm going to give you a free piece of chalk. Aren't I a nice teacher? Huh? There you are. Very good. Okay? Now try to remember what she said. Now, true or false? Go ahead. Very good. How come? Go ahead. Think about what she said now. If we tried to simplify 10x from 3x plus 7, why wouldn't we do that? Because they're not what kind of terms? Like terms. Good. Does anybody see an x attached to the 7? No. No, and so that's what we would need, wouldn't we, students? Good, and then how about the last group over here?
It's false,
False is right, and tell me why.
because they're unlike terms.
Very good. Now, did I leave anybody out, students? Anybody else so far? Okay, good. Now guess what I'm gonna put over here on the board, you guys? I'm gonna put what here? Another what? Oh, yeah, okay, that's good. Now, I'm gonna ask you guys true or false. The first step in doing this equation is to do this. Okay, now what about you guys as a class now? That's it. And who wants to tell me why?
Because 2 and 6 are not alike.
Very good. They're unlike terms. Now, are we getting closer? Are we getting closer to solving this, students, or not? Yes. We are. Good. How many of you guys, I'm not going to ask you what the answer is, but how many of you feel comfortable about giving me an answer to this? Raise your hand. Go ahead, students. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. How many feel, okay, good. That's good. Yeah, that's wonderful, you guys. Okay, good. So don't add unlike terms, you guys. Okay? Okay. Now the next thing, class, is I'm going to ask you guys for a word. Now I'm going to give you a word, and I'm going to give you its opposite. Okay, students? Okay, now I'm going to give you another word. Now I'm going to give you 30 seconds in pairs, and I want you to tell me the opposite. Very good. Now somebody give me a word now for this. Not an answer, but a word. How about begins with an L and ends in F? How'd you know? So it's lean, there it goes. Okay, so it's lean to the left, lean to the left. Lean to the left, lean to the left. Is that it? What is it? Lean to the left. That's it. Okay. Now guess what? I don't have to just put words here. I can also put what? What do you think? What do I call that? 7, yeah. And I mean specifically, what do we call it? What do we study in arithmetic? Numbers is right. Now, when there's no sign in front of it, what's it assumed to be? Understood?
Positive.
Positive is right. Good. Okay, now what goes in this column? There you go. Okay, now somebody give me a number below this.
6.
Very good. And somebody give me a sign other than, very good. Now I'm going to give you guys in pairs, okay? And you're going to tell me true or false. The number that goes here is a positive 5. 30 seconds. Go ahead.
False.
Very good. Okay, so what number goes there?
Positive 6.
Very good, a positive 6. That's good. All right, students. Now I'm going to ask you guys another question. Now this plus this is sort of lukewarm. Let's put like lukewarm. Does anybody know what this plus this is, students?
0.
Very good. How about this plus this?
0.
It doesn't really matter, does it, students? What the number is. Good. So you've got to know what to do other than to put 10x here, right, students? You guys okay with that?
Yes.
Good. And what you do is you recognize that there's really 2 pieces to this. One has a letter attached to it, and the other one doesn't have a letter attached to it. The non-letter attached, the non-letter attached, you guys. Which one of those is the non-letter attached? The 3 or the 7? The 7, good. And notice it has a plus in front of it. So let's look at over here, students. Right here, you guys. What is the opposite of plus 7? You always do sign opposite. But if you do it to the left, you also have to do it to the right. It has to be the same number. Okay? Now, I haven't given you guys any independent pair lesson in a little bit. So what I'd like you to do is in the next 30 seconds, I want you to tell me the answer to just that part of the problem. Write it down, students, and talk about it. Okay, good. All right, very good. Now, how much is this? Is this 0? 15 is right. Very good. Okay, so here we are so far, right, students? Now, we're going to stop there for a while, and you guys are going to write these two down. We already have written them down on your sheet of paper. And you're going to have about 3 minutes in pairs, and you're going to do those two at your desk right now. Okay? You should have them written down, students. Now, what do I want to hear right now? Yeah, chatting or talking. Now look in pairs and write them down. Here's what you're doing right here. These two. Okay? All right, now look over here, students. True or false, the first step in solving 3x plus 7 equals 22 is to take the opposite of the number without the letter attached to it, the minus 7. True or false? What do you think? True. True is right. Good. All right, sign opposite. Here's the letter, the term with the letter in it. Now, this one's a little easier because there's no number in front of the x. So what about the first step in doing that? What's the opposite of plus 7? Negative 7 is right. Left and right. What's the first step right here, students? Good. Exactly right. Good. Good work, everyone. Okay? All right. So far, okay? Any questions, students? Are we on the way? Good. All right. Let me change this ever so slightly. The first step in solving this equation is this, true or false? False is right. Good. Why not?
They're alike.
They're unlike terms. Good. How could we make these into like terms? How could we make 9x into the right answer? What would I put to the right of the 7? 2x is right. Good. Very good. Are we getting a little closer here, you guys? Very good. Good. Guys, that's really what we want, students, which is a little bit tougher. Good. Now see, what makes this a little more difficult, students, is that we're not adding something to the x, but there's no symbol between the 3 and the x. So what is understood to be there? What operation is it? Sock hop, soda pop, basketball, or auto shop? Which one? Almost. Let me say that again. Sock hop, soda pop, basketball, or auto shop?
Auto shop.
Well, okay. Would I put a division sign between those two?
No.
I would put a what? Think Michael, Jordan, right? Sock hop, soda pop, what? That's it. So what operations between those two? Multiplication. Good. And you see, the rule is to try to get this to be a 1, because when you get the letter isolated on one side, then that's the goal. And in this case, to make it a 1, you divide by what's in front. Because when you have the same number above and below a fraction, on top and bottom, then its value is 1. And when you multiply 1 by anything, you don't change it. Now, that's called the identity element. It doesn't matter whether it's a letter or a number. If I took 1 times 8, does anybody know the answer to that? 8 is right. Good. Same with the x. But if I divide 3 on the left, I have to divide what on the right? 3 is right. Good. What if I gave you this by itself, 15 over 3? It would be what? 5 is right. Good. You see, the thing is, you have to do a little more